Good evening. Thank you for checking out Two Local Radio.
Hello?
Hey, Josh.
Hey, how's it going?
This is Ray with Two Local Radio. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
We're doing well. Sorry about the other night, man. We're having so many issues. It's not funny, but I'm sure you've experienced them yourself.
Yeah, definitely, man. I definitely know how that goes.
Are we coming across clear, or is it too loud, or what?
No, sounds good, man. Sounds real clear.
All right, so for people that couldn't hear the last interview because it was probably a little too staticky, you and Felicia, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's me and Felicia.
Oh, okay.
And we're Year of October.
All right, so why don't we start off and tell everybody how you came up with your name?
Well, let me get Felicia on that one. She's the best to answer that question, and we came up with her name.
Hey.
Hello, Felicia.
Hello, once
Hey.
again.
How are y'all?
We're great.
Good.
All right, the question we're going to start off with is how did y'all come up with your name? Just in case some people couldn't understand the last one because it might have been a little too static.
Well, when we started playing, back when we were in college, it was just me and Josh. And we started with acoustic stuff. All the stuff we would write, he would play and I would sing. And it kind of felt like how it feels when you gather around a campfire. Like if somebody just brings out a guitar when it's fall and everybody just starts singing and playing. So I kind of felt like that was how our music felt. And I was like, well, a good month for bonfires is October, so kind of wanted that feeling of bonfire and the people singing around the campfire year-round was our music. And so Year of October is what stuck. So that feeling of fall and all that all year round.
So you're kind of like Blind Melon, in a way.
A little bit.
In the meaning of y'all could play for 10 people and you're cool, or you could play for 5,000 and you're cool. It doesn't matter. It's
oh,
just
yeah.
Of
Totally. As long as we're playing, we're happy. It doesn't matter how many people are there and if they like it.
Exactly. You're doing it for the love of the music.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I mean, you guys are very talented with your music.
Thank you.
So how long has your band been playing? Or you guys been playing?
We started playing back in the summer of 2010.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, going on 4 years.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Really
so it's been
together a long time then. I mean, as far as
yeah. Yeah, it's different people coming in and out, but me and Josh have been here since then. So.
That's great.
Mhm.
All right, I got a good one for you.
Okay.
How has your band matured from when you originally started playing?
Well, I think that we've really developed a more set direction and a set sound with how we're going. When we first started out, we all like different types of music, and we didn't really know what kind of music we wanted to play. And we still kind of branch out between different genres, but now that we have an actual band with us, and it's not just me and Josh, we have a more set direction. And I mean, with every song that we write, you could tell that, or I can tell that our writing has kind of grown and it's matured since we first started. And so I think that just the direction of the band and our writing has really grown a lot from the beginning.
That's awesome. It's awesome how you all stayed together for the whole time and everything. And
yeah.
Are you currently in the studio writing a new album? Are you on tour, so to speak, or what are you currently doing?
We are currently recording our second album. We have most of the songs tracked at the moment. We're still in the process of recording. I think we've just got a little bit left to do in the recording stage, and then Josh is working on producing it right now. But we've just got a little bit more recording left to do for our second album. Hoping it's going to be out late summer or something this year.
That's awesome. I know
yeah, we're super excited.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying we're super excited about it.
I bet. I know you guys February 1st, you have a concert coming up at Kimbo's.
Yeah, February 1st. Out in Franklin, Tennessee. It's our first time playing there, so we've had a bunch of friends stay out there, and they really like it a lot. So we're excited to get out there and play.
Oh, I don't blame you. Yeah, you got quite a few of them coming up, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that's what we were actually, before y'all called, we've been sending out booking emails. So working on setting some more spring dates up.
That's great. I bet you're excited about it.
Yeah, love playing. We try to play out of town most weekends because we work 40-hour weeks in Nashville, so we play in town during the week, and then we try to get out of town on the weekends.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You got time out, you know?
Yeah.
Helps you relax. I'm sure doing your music is what makes you guys...
Oh, it does. Yeah. People at work have said, we're still working. And I was like, no, it's not really working if you're having fun. So.
Yeah, very true.
Exactly. He says he'll get stressed and he'll be like, okay, it's time to do the show, and the stress just goes away. I feel the same way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know
yeah,
what?
it's...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say it's definitely a release. Like, you kind of just let everything go when you're doing what you love. Or I do.
Yeah, you do, because you're not thinking about all those problems or whatever's going on, what bills got paid, or, you know, what you have to do during the week. You're just thinking about what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you and when did Josh first decide that music was your passion?
Oh, gosh. I think I was probably 2 years old. I have been singing. My mom has videotapes of me with those old, like, plastic microphones that are not connected to anything, and they just sound like an echo of me just singing songs. Like, she'd set up the camera in front of me, and I would just make up songs. And so there are tons of videotapes of me doing that at home when I was little, and my family all sings, and my grandmother plays piano, and so it's just a big part of my life growing up. And so from the time I was little, I said I either wanted to sing or act when I grew up, and those have kind of been the two things that have stuck with me. And I've always just wanted to, make life better for other people and more pleasurable, and I feel like the two ways that I can do that are singing and acting. And so playing in a band is really a good way for me to show that.
Yeah, I bet you were adorable when you were younger. I could just hear you dancing around and everything.
So cute.
It's funny. But for Josh, I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about that, because he didn't start playing music till he was older.
Cool. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I guess when I started playing music, I was probably about 12 years old, 7th grade, I guess, so 6th or 7th grade. I'd never really, I loved music since I was younger, but I'd never really played, and my friends and I were going to start a band, and originally I was going to play drums, but we already had another guy who could kind of play drums, so he was like, why don't you play bass? And I'd never even heard of a bass. And I was like, I don't even know what that is, man. But I ended up looking into it and asked for one for Christmas. I ended up getting like a starter bass kit and started playing, and ended up loving it. So
did you basically teach yourself, or did you take lessons?
I took lessons, actually. I was pretty privileged to take from a gentleman named Dave Sullivan from Lexington. He actually went to Belmont down here in Nashville, and he's incredibly talented. He's actually played with a lot of different people. But anyway, I got hooked up with him through some friends, and he ended up. Like, it's funny. He actually taught the dude who plays bass with us now, and we didn't know that. But I took lessons from him for about 10 years on the bass, and then I took about 3 years on guitar when I was in college, and we became really good friends as well. So it's pretty awesome.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's real cool.
So basically, your buddies put you in a shark tank, and you had to learn how to swim awfully fast.
Yeah, exactly. And what's funny is that band ended up not even working out because they ended up starting a different band without me, and I ended up started playing with my other friends at church and stuff. Like, I started playing at church at first, and then I got involved playing with some friends in high school, and we started a punk band, of course, like everybody does, in high school usually. But it was a lot of fun. And I think, at that age, forcing yourself to write music, whether it's good or not, is both challenging and very exciting. Because, you write something that you like, whether it sounds like, like Green Day or something. At the time it sounded like, all this punk music. But I think, writing something that, was very exciting, it still is exciting. I think writing music is extremely rewarding. But when you're younger and you write something, even if it's not any good, you feel like you're on top of the world or something. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the thrill of, doing something you love and just the challenge of, the whole way through. Because there were probably times when you were playing that you just wanted to pull your hair out.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Definitely. I remember starting playing bass. My favorite band, my favorite band is Led Zeppelin for sure. And when I first got my bass, I was like, I'm going to learn a bunch of Led Zeppelin tunes. Which a lot of Led Zeppelin bass parts are very well written, and they're pretty challenging, especially for a beginner. And I remember I couldn't play, any of these songs I wanted to play, and it was very frustrating that I couldn't do it immediately. I had to work my way up to it. But it was a lot. It's a lot of fun though. Looking back on it, it's it was a lot. I would often stay up late playing bass instead of doing homework, and of course my mom didn't like that. But
well, I mean, you had to do what you had to do in order to get where you're at today, though.
Yeah, definitely. It was a lot of fun. And then I was gonna say I started playing guitar middle of high school. I've been playing bass for probably 2 or 3 years, and then I took a guitar class, and I just kind of applied what I knew to bass, and kind of on guitar. And I think it was interesting because most people, it seems like most people learn guitar first and then switch over to bass. And I kind of did the opposite, but I like to approach guitar from a kind of a basic standpoint, and then kind of build it from there. But that was a lot of fun too, or still is.
So what would you say, as far as all the songs that you've done, was the most difficult to get down?
Man, the songs on the first record, probably your favorite, actually, Seal Lights, was very difficult. We actually had to simplify it a lot, just because originally, before we recorded it, we never played it with a full band. And I was like, I really want to record a song, and I kind of started playing it. I had a guitar part down and kind of had some ideas for it. We played it acoustic, but I'd never played a full band. I ended up playing drums on that track, and I was trying to piece it together in my head as to how the song was going to go, and it was very difficult. It took at least, one day I recorded drums for about 5 hours by myself, and it was very frustrating because I couldn't get it, just right.
Man,
that one, and then, go ahead.
You should have tried some Rock Band. It would have helped you out.
Yeah, it's funny is I'm the drums on Rock Band. I'm pretty terrible on that. It's tough, man. I like it. I used to play that all the time in college with some friends, but I usually ended up playing the guitars because I couldn't keep up with the drums.
Yeah, the drums are hard. I played them, but I actually was able to master them and do okay. I'm not perfect at it, but I do okay.
You can get through, right?
Yeah. Well, my cousin played drums really well, so when I was younger, he taught me a little bit.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
I could never play in a band.
It's I couldn't play it live. I just did a couple songs on the first record because we didn't have a drummer at the time. On the new record we're working on now, we have a song. It's called "You Were Mine," and it's got a couple different time changes in it. And that one, I'm not fully finished recording all the instrument parts to it yet. I've got most of it done, but it's definitely challenging because it's got a lot of time changes and dynamic. The dynamics go kind of up and down on that one. So from a producer's, looking at it from a producer, sometimes I have to just simplify it. Simpler is better. In a lot of instances, and this is one of them. It's still challenging to work on. So it's fun though. I look at it as a challenge.
Well, I mean, we're really looking forward to your next album. Actually, we enjoy all your songs. We like your different styles. I mean, you've got the classic rock vibe. You've got the blues vibe. You've got a little bit of country. It's just a different kind of mix.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. We really appreciate y'all's support.
No problem.
That's awesome.
That's why we're here. And, the main thing is, so the listeners get to, hear more about you. But on that note, we're going to let the listeners hear a song real quick, and we'll get right back to you all right?
Okay. Sounds good.
For so long, I'm surprised I haven't drowned. I'm half awake in a city that never sleeps, and I can't find my way out. I was looking for the door, trying to find some cover, but there's nothing to be found. Oh, why did I come here? Why can't I go back? Oh, get me out of this town.
That was your Sea of Lights. So how did you all create that song? Because we love it so much.
That one, we originally wrote it acoustic, and me and Felicia had the basics of it, and then I went down. We basically had it was like a 2.5 minute version, like acoustic, and I was working on it. I was about to start recording it in the studio. And I kind of was playing through it in my head. And I had Felicia record like a scratch vocal track, and I recorded the acoustic part. And I decided to have we had added there's a little break, a little breakdown in there. And we decided to have that in there because I thought that kind of added some excitement. I really like kind of have the song, I forgot the word for this, but have the music go with the words, you know, of the song, and I like to have, like, you know, real kind of dramatic at one point, and we decided to add that in there and then kind of have it go right back to the same, you know, original tempo. And so I recorded the scratch acoustic part, and then I ended up recording a drum part just for the whole song, and just pretty much based what I was playing around the drum part, kind of dropped. I would add certain instruments and drop dynamics and stuff. I added that the lead guitar part at the very beginning. I added that last. So I feel like that was kind of like the icing on the cake that really kind of, you know, made the song pop. But that one was probably the most challenging on the record. But it was also, I feel like it was very rewarding. That's a real fun song to play live too.
Nice.
Yeah, I really like that song.
Well, thank you. Now that was originally, like I said, the lyrics. Like Felicia came up with those lyrics first, and then we kind of, I just started. And one day I was just playing guitar and messing around on it, and like I said, I started just playing something that she liked, and she started singing these lyrics that she had, you know, over top of it, and then we just kind of took it from there and went with it. I think we worked on it for a couple hours, and then we had the basic idea.
That's awesome, man. That's absolutely awesome. What I want to know, and what the listeners want to know, is who are your biggest influences outside of music?
Well, some of my biggest influences outside of music, I'm a big movie buff. I love films. I'm a big Martin Scorsese fan. He's definitely a big influence on me. I like movie directors, you know. I think a lot of Steven Spielberg's work's really brilliant. Definitely influenced me. I think watching films, you know, and hearing the scores and seeing the images, that really influences me a lot, actually, you know, in writing music. Also books, a lot of authors. I really like Stephen King. I think he's wonderful. Let's see, yeah, Stephen King's great. You know, both of me and Felicia's favorites, like F. Scott Fitzgerald. We both like, you know, Scott, and then I like a lot of dramas, a lot of fantasy and science fiction. You know, I like the Lord of the Rings series is one of my favorites. A lot of good stuff. Definitely inspiring stuff. I think like the biggest thing lately, I've been on this huge Dennis Lehane kick. I've been reading all these, you know, he writes these noir, like detective novels that are really interesting, and they're fun, but at the same time they have like they have a lot of dark, you know, darkness to them. But there's a lot of fun too. They're pretty, pretty dark and bleak at times. But then they also have some comic relief in there. So it's a fun read.
Awesome. Now, before we have Felicia answer that, I'm going to throw you off the loop like I did last time with the Neil Young and Leonard Skinner. This time we're going to go Pink Floyd or Black Sabbath, and why?
Ooh, I'm a big Pink Floyd fan. I like both of them. I like Sabbath a lot as well, and Floyd, but I think Floyd just had you look at, like, Floyd doesn't have, you know, in my opinion, Floyd doesn't have any records that I wouldn't listen to, whereas Black Sabbath, in my opinion, after their first two, I wasn't as interested in them after their first two records. But I love, like Pink Floyd, one of my favorite records of all time is, you know, Dark Side of the Moon. I really like Animals. The Wall is great. Definitely love them. That's another band like Zeppelin. I grew up listening to them. I think I borrowed all my dad's CDs and burned them when I was probably 10 or 11 years old, and started getting into that kind of stuff.
Wow, I feel old because you burned them at like 10, 11, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, when I was young, there wasn't even any capabilities to burn anything. You were trying to copy shit out of cassette tape.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember having a bunch of cassettes too when I was really young. I think my parents bought me Smash Mouth, with the All-Star song, you know. Definitely had that on cassette, so that's funny.
And And there's nothing worse than having a cassette break on you and trying to fix it. Trust me, I spent hours one day.
Oh man, I never had that happen, so I can imagine though. Trying to fix it, that'd be painful.
Yeah, it is a pain in the neck. But like I said, when I was a kid, it was all albums. So you listen to your favorite song, and all of a sudden you hear Scratch. It's like, oh man, that's the worst.
Yeah, definitely. I had that happen to I collect records too, and I had that happen to one of my favorite Ryan Adams songs not too long ago. It's got a scratch the song starts building up at the end, and it's got this really beautiful chorus, and it's got a scratch right in the middle of it. It kills me.
Yeah, but now you can buy stuff, I think, to get rid of the scratches, even in probably the records. But back then,
I know. I've tried a bunch of different things, and none of it's worked, so it's definitely a bummer. But most time I don't really have too much trouble with the records, but that one's painful.
All right, and now as far as people who is in your life, who would be your biggest influences?
Definitely, I was gonna say my parents. Their relationship is awesome, and for me and Felicia, our relationship, I really had a good foundation. Just seeing my parents, the way they were, the way they treat each other. And they're my parents, one thing that's awesome is my parents are best friends. So growing up, around that was amazing and, and awesome. It's a blessing, to have that and to see that. And then, my parents, I've got a lot of, my family is just amazing. My sister is awesome. Great person. And then, I had my bass teacher, Dave, he's a major influence on me, musically. He would push me, really hard musically, and then he'd also challenge me to be a good person. And we would actually have pretty in-depth conversation just about life in general, which was pretty cool. We would stay after the lessons and we would talk about that, and then it was pretty inspiring stuff. And he would give me songs that were really hard and would frustrate the crap out of me, but then he'd be like, "Man, I know you can do this," and have someone believe in me, at that age was really awesome. Those are definitely some inspiring people to me.
All right. Now you can put your other half on the line if you don't mind.
Sure. Here she is.
Hello?
Hello again.
What? I'm sorry, I was in the other room. I didn't get what we were talking about.
All right. Who are your biggest influences outside of music?
Outside of music?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Well, my family, all of my families are huge musically and personally. I come from a ginormous family, and they all live in the same area, and they're all a really big support group for me and for each other. My mom and dad are great, and they support the band so much. My grandmother and my mom's mom and my dad's mom, dad, those grandparents. I get tongue-tied and I say funny things that should just say grandparents. But they're all very supportive and great people, and they just they make me want to be a better person, and they really support us in what we do musically. Who else? Like Josh said, authors and directors, they inspire me when I'm writing. Almost all of the things that I write just come from stories that are made up in my head. A lot of our songs aren't personal experiences or anything. A few of them have stuff thrown in there, but most of them are just stories. And I think that the creativity and imagination that I have, a lot of it comes from just being inspired by other people using their imaginations and telling stories. I really like old older directors or people who are inspired by older art forms. Audrey Hepburn is my favorite actress, and so I like her movies, and I love old sounds. Wes Anderson is my favorite director, and he's really inspired by just older stuff, and just the colors in his movies and the stories that he tells really inspire me. And F. Scott Fitzgerald and the Bronte sisters. It's just anybody who really tells a story that interests me, inspires me to write interesting stuff.
Now, going back to the song we played, Sea of Lights, what do you think of it when you play it? I mean, as far as when you were all originally recording it, what to you does it actually mean?
What to me does that song actually mean?
Yeah.
Huh. When I wrote that song, I kind of had another song that I'd been listening to a lot in mind, and that was Ray LaMontagne's New York City's Killing Me.
Okay.
But, yeah. And it's just kind of talking about how just being in the city, like needing to get out, get away from all the concrete and the noise and everything, and get back out to the country where you can just, I don't know, experience different things. Huh?
I was joking. I said eat a lot of peaches. I was thinking of that song.
Yeah. But so I've been listening to that song, and I kind of was just thinking about how so many artists and actors and actresses go up to cities, LA, New York City, all different places, and there are so many people who go up there and nothing ever really happens. And so they kind of leave this whole background that they have, their family, they leave everything behind to go chase this dream, and sometimes it never comes around for them. They never see anything from it. And so that was the story that I had in mind as this person that left everything to go chase their dream, and then it just kind of crushes them. It crushes their spirit, the city and the industry. And so that was kind of what was going through my mind at that time.
So if you could, perform with anybody who is around right now, who would you like to be on stage with, and why?
Norah Jones. She has probably had of artists today, she has probably had the most influence over how I write and the melodies that I write and everything. I've been listening to her since her first album came out. I'm pretty sure it was in 2002. And ever since then, I've loved her. I think that everything she does is spectacular. I don't know. I think that she seems like a cool person. She just did an album with Billie Joe Armstrong from Green Day. It's called Foreverly. They did the cover of the Everly Brothers album.
Nice.
And I was watching an interview. Huh?
I was agreeing with you.
Oh yeah, I was watching an interview with her and Billie Joe, and I think that she's just game to do anything, and I like that in an artist. They're just not afraid to try different things. She was on the album that Jack White did, with Danger Mouse, Rome, a few years ago. I don't remember what year that came out. 2011, I think, and 2010, 11, whatever. And it's very different from other things she'd done. And I think it'd be cool to do a project with her and just do something completely different from either one of us do. And then we could perform it. It'd be really cool.
So what about Josh when you met him? Just blew your mind and said, well, hey, that's the man of my dreams.
the first time that we actually met in person, I'd seen him play bass a couple of times, and so I thought that was cool. I always had a thing for musicians. But when we met, I was supposed to be going to a movie with him and some of our friends, and me and my cousin just decided to skip out and go to a different movie, and we met them afterwards, and they were all really mad that we didn't go see that movie. And so the first time that we ever talked, we argued about the movie that I went to see. And so I just thought that was so funny that, I don't know, I enjoy arguments. I thought about going to law school, and so I thought it was funny that the first time that we ever talked, he wasn't afraid to, like, he wasn't trying to show off for me.
Nice.
And I liked that.
That's cool. Would you say it was love at first sight for you when you first met Josh?
I don't really know if it was love at first sight. We were definitely, we definitely hit it off almost immediately, though. That night after we first met, we talked online. We messaged each other until like 4 a.m. about different movies and directors. I know, it was scandalous. But yeah, we talked about different books and movie directors and producers in different bands. So we were super nerdy even then.
Nothing wrong with that. As long as you have something in common with someone, that's the main thing.
Oh yeah, we definitely do.
So, what would you say that where would you say the band would be in 5 years? Where can you predict y'all will be at that point?
Well, we would hope to be touring most of the time. It would be nice if we could just be playing music and that be supporting us at that point. So that is what I'm going to say is where we'll be then. 5 years' time, hopefully it'll be supporting us, but who knows?
Well, you got to do your own thing, and eventually they'll either catch on or you find your own way to make money.
Yep.
Do you think, are you and Josh planning on having a family?
Yeah, eventually. Not right now. Yeah. But eventually. Not sure how long that is. I keep telling my family it's 7 years, but it's been that since we got married, so we'll just keep pushing the 7 years.
There you go. And if when you have children, if one of your children decides they want to follow in yours and Josh's footsteps, would you encourage them or would you discourage them?
Oh, definitely encourage. My family always encouraged me in whatever I wanted to do. I took dance for 13 years. And I competed. We'd go out of town on competitions on the weekends. And I acted and played at school. And I played soccer. And I was a cheerleader for 2 years, which was horrible. But they still supported me in doing that. And so it's just, I think that as a kid, you should be able to do what you want to do. Like, not necessarily what you want to do, but if you want to try music. I'll support you and I'll help you to do it as much as I can. And so if we had kids and they wanted to play music, I would think that would be amazing. It would be super cool.
Okay,
yeah.
so what would you tell anybody that was inspiring to be a musician right now to, help them follow their dreams?
Well, it's really hard work. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, and you get shut down a lot. And so you have to be tough, and you have to stick it through. If you really love playing music, and if you really want to do it, then go for it. But if you're just doing it because you think it would be fun, I do not recommend it because it gets you down a lot. But if you really love music, do it because that's only going to make music better. people who love it, just continuing to make it.
Okay, well, we're going to wrap it up with Josh in a minute, but we're going to play his song that he's been requesting forever we play right now. So here's Buried by Year of October.
All right.
Okay, once it works.
I guess being stubborn doesn't want to work.
There she stands, her arms, they are blowing in the wind. No one knows what is within. Her roots go deep. Everything they see, there's a story told, it runs through her soul. Oh, so runs through the heavens. Dark secrets are buried deep inside. Everyone looks, but no one can find. Soon that will change. The whole life she rearranged. She could no longer hold or run through her soul. Oh, so run.
All right, we're back.
Okay.
I love that song. That song was funny. When I was listening to that song, it made me think of, like, you know, back in, like, the 30s, they used to sing in the... No, not even the 30s. The 30s, 60s. Back when they sing in the bars.
Uh-huh.
In the bar, singing that song made me think of a woman dressed in a pretty dress, and she's in a bar and she's singing. That's what the song made me think of as I was
Nice.
listening to it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love the beat to it and everything.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that one's...
I'm sorry.
Do what? I was just gonna say, that was one of my favorites.
I was going to say that you could also go into a place like Coyote Ugly and that song would still rock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right, well, I'm going to ask Josh a few questions, and we're going to let you go afterwards.
All right. Well, here he is.
All right. It was nice talking to you, Felicia.
Nice talking to you.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
All right, so I'm going to put you on the spot, like we did Felicia a minute ago.
Okay.
So what made you think this is one sexy mama when you met Felicia?
With Felicia? I don't know. It's tough to put into words. I was definitely attracted to her. I heard her tell the story when we first met each other at the movie theater. She was in basically her pajamas with her cousin, and I don't know what it was, but I just thought it was cool that she didn't really care what other people thought, and she was really attractive in her PJs, but I don't know. There was just something about her. I was really attracted to her immediately, and I tried to Facebook stalk her, I guess, and I couldn't spell her name correctly because it's Felicia, but it's spelled PHL, so I couldn't find her. So I had to and luckily she found me. I guess she was stalking me back. I don't know, but I like to think she was. But she found me that night. But I remember I was like, crap, how am I supposed to? I was worried that I wouldn't talk to her for a while. So I didn't have her phone number or anything. I didn't want to ask my friends hey, what's Felicia's number, and let them know that I was interested. But I think the first time I met her, I just thought she was really attractive. She was very funny, and she's real sarcastic, which it's real funny. I'm not a very sarcastic person mostly, but she is, and it kind of, I don't know what it is, but she's got a real quick wit to her. So, and then she's a cutie. So I don't know.
There you go.
Well, would you say it was love at first sight, and do you believe in love at first sight?
I kind of would say it was love at first sight. It was weird, because, I mean, I remember seeing her the first time, and there was just kind of I don't know if it's love at first sight, but there was definitely a spark, and I felt that, which I didn't feel with other people before that, and I don't know, it's a weird, yin and yang kind of thing, because, another thing too is I definitely had to pursue her. She didn't want to, even though we kind of hit it off at first, she definitely didn't want a boyfriend for a while. So I kind of had to chase after her for a little bit. So, I don't know. It was one of those things where I was, I don't know. There's definitely a spark there. I don't know if it was love at first sight, but I think that there was definitely a spark there.
Nice. Now I know why you like Buried. It's your version of Iron Man. As far as riffs.
Yeah. Oh man, I love Iron Man. So, yeah. Thanks. That's yeah. Buried. I like that heavy riff in there. So.
Yeah, I was telling Felicia that when I listened to the song, I was just sitting there kind of zoning out, listening to it. And what it made me think of is back in the 30s, 60s, and stuff, and probably the 70s, when people used to go into bars, and sing more, more than they do now. And that's the song made me think of somebody sitting in a bar and singing for people because, they're not found yet by, get their career going.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely got that throwback sound to it, and I think that's a good comparison. Because I mean, it definitely reminds me of or my own inspiration, like Led Zeppelin. In 1969, their debut record. I just imagine, I imagine obviously they blew up pretty quick, but I can't imagine seeing those guys, in a club, playing for 50 people or something. You know what I mean? That would just be mind blowing to me. But thank you. That's a compliment. Thank you.
No problem.
You're very welcome.
So the last question I have tonight is where can people find your stuff and how can they get in touch with you?
Well, we have a Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Year of October, or /Year of October. And then we have we just have a yearofoctober.com, and we have if you go to our contact page, we have all that. We have our music's available on iTunes. It's on Spotify. If you just look up Year of October, our album's called Stories. iTunes, Spotify, Amazon.com. We have a Bandcamp page. You can download it off our Bandcamp page. Also, through all these pages, we have links to our email. If anyone's interested, even just talking to us, whatever, you can hit us up through our email or through our Facebook page. We're constantly updating it, posting new videos. We got some new videos coming out. We're actually about this spring. We're going to shoot, for this new record, we're going to shoot a music video, which is very exciting. My cousin Nate is actually scheduled. He's going to come down. He does movies, and he's a director. He's actually to come down and shoot our video with us, which I'm real excited about. It's kind of a big hush hush. We got kind of a bunch of big ideas for it, so it'll be a lot of fun. And I think it's gonna be a really funny video too. We're gonna have some good I don't know. I want to make it kind of like one of the classic '90s music videos. But But anyway, there's a lot of big stuff in store, for sure.
I will say when you tour out this way, come by our little studio, and y'all should do a song or two live on the
Yeah, definitely. We like I think we told you, last time we talked to you, we're playing in Knoxville. We're playing the Blue Plate Special on in April 12th.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the list of. I have the list of all your tour dates.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Keep up with it.
Awesome. I think we actually added 2 new ones as we were talking just now. I got an email, so that's exciting.
That's very exciting.
Definitely. Well, thank you.
You just got to do what you got to do and keep trucking.
Yes, you all too. Definitely.
All right, man. Well, it was fun talking to you, and we're sure we're gonna, get you back on the show.
Heck yeah.
Once again, it was a blast. It was a blast last time. This time it's clearer, though, so I'm sure more people will listen, because for some reason nowadays everybody wants clarity or nothing.
Yeah, I understand. Well, thanks for having us, man. We really appreciate it.
We enjoyed having you. You guys are cool to have on.
All right.
Well, thank you.
We'll talk to you later.
See you later.
All right. See y'all. Have a good night.
All right. You too.
Thank you. Bye.